Shalom, my dearest friends. With great honor and pleasure, I'm here at the grave of Rabbi Tarfon. Rabbi Tarfon was from the Mishnah period. And as we know, the Mishnah came from the Bible. It was the oral Torah, the basis of the oral Torah. And from it came the Talmud, the Gemara. And so Rabbi Tarfon learned with Rabbi Akiva, and he had said that should the Sanhedrin, the great assembly of judges, been in Rabbi Akiva's time period, no one would have been put to death. So great were their kindness in seeing the greatness and the light in each person and situation, and their scholarship to be able to find maybe loopholes that would allow someone to continue to live and not be put to death for kores, for sins which are punishable by death penalty in the Torah. And so Rabbi Tarfon was a priest. He was a Kohen. He was from a family of great nobles. He was very wealthy, but it said of him that he didn't spend his wealth. He was living rather simply, not interested in what the benefits of money. You know, we've learned in the Gemara that a person dies not even with half of what they desire. The more money a person has, the more desire they have then to spend it, to have more money, to make more investments. Rabbi Nachman says the more money a person has, the further it becomes away from him, right? Once you have money, you have to put it in a bank. And then once you put it in the bank, you want to put it in the Swiss account. So then it's in Switzerland. And then besides Switzerland, it's going in stocks. And then it's in certificates. Then it's in electronic. Maybe it's closer today because a lot of it's digital. But the point is that it seems not to be in your pocket. And you want more and more and more. But you don't really get so much benefit from this money as you might think. And the same thing with all physical desires. But one other thing about Rabbi Tarfon is that his mother was somewhat of a difficult person to live with, so we are told. But yet, Rabbi Tarfon humbled himself and fulfilled the mitzvah of Kibbud Av V'Em. The mitzvah of Kibbud Av V'Em is one of the most important mitzvahs of the Torah. It said of certain tzaddikim that when their parents were sick, they would actually carry them on their shoulders, and they would walk with them so they shouldn't come to any more pain. And it is said of one tzaddik that he would put his hands down the ground, and the parents would walk on his very hands so as not to hurt their feet. They did not have shoes. And here today, maybe we don't fulfill this mitzvah as well as we could. Back then, parents and children, they lived sometimes in the same household. When they got married, they didn't live in their own apartment or house. Usually they lived there with the parents in a separate room. But today, who could do such a thing? We would tear each other into pieces. So the mitzvah of Kibbud Av V'Em is a very difficult one to fulfill, but yet is very, very important. And Rabbi Tarfon understood this. And even though his mother was very difficult for him to live with, nonetheless, he pursued the correct way of humbling himself and never arguing, never getting angry at a parent. Shalom, my dear friends. There's this beautiful tree here by Rabbi Tarfon, and I don't normally climb trees, trust me, and definitely not on Torah video. But if you saw this tree, how old it is, how beautiful is the creation of Hashem, you would want to climb on it and touch it yourselves. So we'll sing a song here in honor of Rabbi Tarfon and his mitzvah kibur of aim. Beni, ay beni, I'll take life v'derech itas. Beni, ay beni, I'll take life v'derech itas. Mena, ay mena, mena raglecha nesiv osa. Mena, ay mena raglecha nesiv osa. Beni, ay beni, I'll take life v'derech itas. Beni, ay beni, I'll take life v'derech itas. Mena, ay mena, mena raglecha nesiv osa. Ay, la la la, la la la.